Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Wind and Thunder Gaming. This week we have 4 games, one of which I'm going to substitute for brief tactical analysis of the map more than anything. That is of course Sky Badgers versus Aurora. But today we start off with that long ass labyrinth game between Falco and Aurora, where Falco just didn't seem to be able to make too much ground because they were constantly denied by Gat Mortar because they took, as we can see here, they took they took 3 field guns on their junker, and they took a field gun front for their Pyramidion. And their Pyramidion took, as we've seen quite a few of them go, a support side that has a mine launcher and flare. Do not want. I mean, with how prominent sniping is in this game, it's nice to have that retaliatory, or what's a better word? Contingent side guns for if you have to play long range. I understand the uses of mines, and I understand for like their slight zoning effect. I don't find it that useful, especially on these larger maps. I mean, city map, a little more cramped, you can do more with it. But yeah, we're not going to watch all this game. We're going to skip and watch some engagements. This first engagement, let's take a quick look at this build. Flak here, mortar, field gun here, flak here. Sweet Jesus. Anyway, really hurt them in the long run. Mine launcher, flare gun. This is them getting torn apart by Gat Mortar. They ended up trying to play close range for a large portion of the game, and it just did not work because the Merc cannons couldn't put down enough piercing damage. Then they tried to stay at a distance, start raining fire in, and that worked kind of, but blue team managed to get in and lock the point before red could end up taking. So this first engagement really set the tone for the rest of the game. The wipe of red team. Trying a new format, I want to keep these matches under 30 minutes for your viewing pleasure. I know you guys are busy and have things to do and don't always want to watch an hour and a half analysis. Anyway, yeah, Merc cannon's not fucking working. Look at this. This hurts to watch. I think it should be a rule that you can't have a title in your name. Chief Navigator Rathburn. Chief Navigator Commander Leron, or whatever rank he is. Meat grinding, no point, because blue has the point locked down. Absolutely no point to doing this. Should have stayed back and waited for his teammate. Again, that Merc, the Mercury was their downfall here, I think. Amadeus trying to provide support with one Merc cannon. They're trying to focus the same target, but they can't put down enough damage with those Merc cannons. Backed up out of Amadeus's arcs. Seashore took a really shitty ram there, and that was completely for naught. I don't know why you're charging if you have a Merc cannon, besides the fact that you need to get within range for your flak cannon. So although the Merc cannon's range is really far, their maximum distance is the minimum distance of the flak cannon. Yes. Like, you need to be able to hit with the flak cannon, so that's like mid-range. So I don't, especially on this map, I wouldn't see why you wouldn't just bring a Gat. Then they clean up. Seashore arrives not in time. Meat grindy, meat grindy, meat grindy. That was really the tone of this match. So it looks like they managed to clear one out of the point. And look, they're keeping their distance now. They learned their lesson, but Oz is going to try to sink below this globe and see what happens. I think that's the right decision. He's trying to use whatever cover he has. But these guns are super accurate. The Mercs, at least. Now, all blue needs to do is lock down this point. So even if Ah dies, all Varkalak needs to do is jump in on the point and keep it locked. They could potentially just do that till the end of the game. Skip Varkalak. I don't think he sees them, but he's locking down the point. That flare. Flare's going up everywhere. Obviously red, because it's blue who's spotted. That fire was coming from the Amadeus. Merc Flak, not doing a whole lot. Didn't even get through the armor. Finally getting through the armor, barely scratching the hole. Now, it's a 2v1 Gat mortar. Okay, 1v1 now. On this poor soul, who seems to be velcroed on something, or just not moving. I can't really tell. That, if he was stuck on that bridge, that would not surprise me. That bridge is death incarnate. Okay, so now this brawl, there's no way Amadeus can physically win this. Gets a really bad ram to worsen it. Oz not even looking. I don't know what the hell Oz doing. He's showing his right side. What the? Is he just trying to run? They finally neutralized this point, Red. What are you doing, bud? Like, he could have just turned right and opened fire, but I have no idea what he's doing. That might have something to do with it. Yeah, Rathburn DC'd. That's why that happened. Ooh, nice ram by the Varkalak. Red team not having time to use mines, seeing as the Seashell's Seashore was dead. Okay, so again, these very vain attempts with these Merc cannons to try and clear them off the point. Succeeded once, and I think that was the only time. I could be wrong. It's dead in the water. Engines are up. Rathburn DC'd again. Or no, that was the this. Don't do that. Don't spam the caster's chat, he'll just turn it off. Ruin it for everyone, man. Tomasic. And QWERTY, bad QWERTY for responding. Sweet Jesus. Okay, so that was that game in a nutshell. Don't take Merc cannons on this map unless let's see, what could they have done to make that work? They could have had a galleon supplement with 2 flat cannons. You could take a dual Merc dual flat galleon. Actually, that's a pretty cool build idea. Flaks on one side, Watches on the other. Watch again on one side so when you get in close on the point. Flak to help supplement and clear them off the point with dual Mercs on either a Junker or this side of a Pyramidion. I like this. Someone should take this and run with it. So yeah, I'm going to change my overlays and I'll get back. With the next game, that is Aurora versus Badger, we're just going to talk a bit about the map. Okay, so here we go. We got Badger, Sky Badgers, the Aurora Northern Air Fleet. Now we got a Junker, dual mortar, dual Gat on either side with a Merc cannon on the front. And same build on this. Nothing particularly interesting going on with the engineering side of things, as far as I can tell. Something interesting which we'll talk about in the PFS paddling game is the fact that I think it was the Kusanagi had 2 buff hammers on that boat. Very interesting choice. Very, very interesting choice. Okay, let's let's have a little chat. So, no. Screen window start in progress. Okay. Let's talk about this map. Oh, I don't have my thing set up. Whatever. Okay, we'll just paint over this. Then, if I can find the brush. Okay, sorry, selected. This is a really easy spot to camp. Like, really easy spot to camp. The only entrances are from this cannon inwards, or either side, here or here. So there's not a lot the enemy can do, but as we can see in this game, these two junkers only have 2 merc cannons between the two of them, which makes them significantly weaker than if, say, the paddling was camping the back of this valley. Now I've heard through grapevine that paddling is honor bound not to camp back that valley. But I think even if they tried, they'd get out-sniped by the Polaris BFS, 4 merc setup, which I love. Love that setup. It's an awesome counter-sniping deal. Merc shoot farther, and you're a lot more maneuverable than if you have a galleon with you. So those are my thoughts on that build. So let's pull his map back up. What can they do? I'll play this until he gets a good camera position. Best choice, as Cordy described during the cast, is a nice pincer maneuver from either side of this canyon. Makes them split their guns, so they're shooting at 2 individual targets, dispersing the damage, or they're focusing on one target, again only with 2 merc cannons, so it's not that harsh to deal with. Now we got this nice view here of the back of the canyon looking in. That's QWERTY's mouse, not mine. So you can come through here, peek up and over. You can have someone come through there. Alternatively, you can have someone running in between these 2 spots of cover, sniping. Yeah, there's multiple like counter sniping, but Badger got really lucky and their enemies didn't take any sniping material whatsoever. They had the support sides, like the functionality of mine launchers and flares. And you know what, if NFS wants to rock that, they can go right ahead. But again, I always recommend having a long range alternative in case you're forced into that situation. That's why it's nice to have, like, if NAFS had 4 merc cannons in this game, they would have ripped red team to shit, and then red team would have been forced to come into the canyons, and they could have just tried to outbrawl them. And then the NAFS would have been in Pyramidion, so they would have been able to control engage range a lot easier than the Junkers. That would make their lives infinitely easier, but unfortunately for NAFS, they rolled with the support side. So yes, you can pincer over here to try and go from one side. You can pincer from here. You can go behind this rock right here and then come around this way. You could even go into this valley. Here, I'll bring up the map. My god, mouse accuracy is not my shit. There we go. You can see this big open field here. You can go in that, but then you have to turn around this corner, which can be a son of a bitch at times. Like, the time it takes you to turn around this corner is just more time for them to start ripping your ship to shreds. But, provided the attack is well coordinated between you and your teammate, then you have your teammate putting pressure on them while they're trying to shoot you. There's a multitude of things. Again, QWERTY suggested this, but yeah, I completely agree with him. Pincer would have been best choice. So, not a whole lot I know about this game because we had to stop watching it because it took for fucking ever. Which, I agree with that decision, viewers can only take so much. Okay, still 0-0. And AFS was just deciding. They're like, how the fuck do we want to do this? If they had Merc cannons, it would have just been like, let's peek in and out of cover and just poke them to death. And you know what? That works. We've seen it tear apart sniper galleon builds, for Christ's sake. It's effective. This, okay. Here's what I was looking for. Their initial charge. Now, where this went awry is one accidentally rounds into the other. Please get out of that view. Thank you. Right here. This is where it all goes to shit. See that? Varkalok's ass accidentally gets rid of all of Oz gun arcs and completely... He just got completely shit on there. Completely unintentional. And the hitboxes looked a bit weird on that, I'll be honest. But you know what? There's not much you can do. But I'm sure they managed to, get together the second try if they went. And whatnot. So yeah, we know that Aurora ended up coming out on top. However they managed that is beyond me, because, look, this is how bored he got. He started flipping up the screen. XSplit didn't feel like running it at a delay. But Badgers, as they said in the community chat, have a strict no screen watching policy. So that's a thing. Gonna pull up my overlays for Raft versus Polaris. Polaris also tried the Merc gun brawling technique. We're significantly better at it because it wasn't objective based, I think. But yeah, it's a real pain in the ass to try and make work. So yeah, I'll pull up my overlays and get that working. Oh yeah, this giant occasionally effective symbol reminds me to tell you to go to Cordy to Jam's Twitch page. I use his VODs. I'm going to start getting my own. I'm going to start jumping in during the weekends. So I have like 1080p footage for myself that I can use. Not that, using screen capped Twitch is the highest res, as you can probably tell. So yeah, I'll switch my overlays. Okay, here we go, take 2. Always check if your mic's muted. Okay, so we got Polaris versus Raft. Polaris running this Merc cannon build. Or, yeah, field cannon Merc. And flak in the front. Works out pretty decent until Raft manages to break their lines. And then they kind of toy around the arc for a while. And it culminates by the arc, as it always seems to. There's 2 quick deaths for red. I think here is where Ekless Quack finally manages to push her and kill the Aquarius. Here we go. Yeah. Or, sorry. Killed the Razor instead. They managed to kill the Aquarius. And I think the Razor gets a really bad spawn. Yeah. Right there. I mean, not a lot you can do. It was kind of convenient because his teammate was right there. But, he ended up getting cleaned up pretty quick. And then there wasn't a whole lot he could do. He was just stuck in a 2v1 situation. Aquarius sneaking up on the Ekless Quack. They know who's weaker. They are focusing the correct person. But I think Razor ends up going down regardless, just because of that gap. So, pretty sure Dancing Feather kills Aquarius and the Razor goes on this really long... actually, no, it's not what happened. Actually, yes, it is. Aquarius dies, Razor runs around to the arc back there. Razor like outmaneuvers them completely for a really long time, but then ends up dying to be fourth kill. And then by the time Aquarius went to meet up, red team just jumped on him, and there wasn't a whole lot he could have done. Again, see, this is Aquarius, and the Razor's running. I think they killed Dancing Feather somewhere along the way. And then he ended up getting this really nice spawn right here. So I ended up joining that witch hunt for Razor. Echolas Quack, see, comes around this arc. Tarring for whatever reason. I think she just whiffed the Phoenix Claw or something. So they put Razor down, and Aquarius is right here, and then they just kerosene right to him. I would have liked to see... Okay, he is kerosening backwards. But I like to see him kerosening more in that direction. Because that is, of course, where blue people will always spawn. See, like, I feel like if he just, like, turned and started going back that way, he would have broke arcs with these guys and might have been better off in the long run. Yeah. Field Merc's not an okay supplement for a GAT if you're brawling. Which I don't think they wanted to do since the beginning. They wanted to try and kill them before they got to them, but they never really had a chance to. Because by the time they have a chance to use that flak, they're already at mid-range, so that's when the other team's GAT mortar is coming into play. I'm going to switch my overlays, and then we'll take a look at the paddling game. Alright, not even going to use a map for this one. Didn't use it much in my last one. But I already commentated this game, figured out I had my mic muted for like the past two, and I was just like, God damn it. So yeah, always make sure your mic's on. So, cool things to note. Kusanagi using a 2 buff NG setup. But they never really got a chance to buff a whole lot of shit because they were under fire from the paddling. So they were spending the majority of their time repairing, running, etc., etc. Okay. If you want a good build for your galleon, that is very versatile. The Dirty Ducks, Flak, Lumberjack, Merc, left side. Did I say the Dirty Duck? I meant the Lucky Duck. Wait, which one? Which one's which? Yeah, okay, it is Lucky Duck. Lucky Duck's galleon. So yeah, Merc, Lumberjack, Flak, left side, Hwacha, Carronade, right. Carronade strips armor for your Hwacha to do explosive damage. Fun fact, if you're close enough, that is. Anything else I want to say? Yeah. It synergizes really well with 2 Merc cannons on the Pyramidion. Dirty Duck did end up only taking 1 Merc cannon this game. Kind of interesting fact. So yeah. Lots of buffing potential from the Kusanagi. I think that might have been what helped him run away from the paddling. Actually, no, he got cut out there. Look, I skipped for 2 freaking seconds, and then there's 2 kills up. Look at the sheer amount of damage paddling put down. Like, between the time he was here to here, dead. Amazing. And then the Azawa is out to dry. It gets torn apart. Gat, Merc, Flak, Mortar, just done. His build is exceptional. Paddling does a very good job now of roaming and not letting the other team get comfortable. Once they kill you once, you no longer have any time to plan, and they will put a lot of pressure on you. So yeah, we don't get to witness this 3rd kill because Cordy was staring at a crane. You know, that's cool. He's voting himself off Ob's Island here, man. We need to work on dedicated observers. Barely scratching the ducks at all. Kusanagi doing a good job. I think at this point in time the BFS got really out of place. We got Azawa way the fuck out that way. I think it was Azawa who died because, yeah, it's full now. Okay, so that's who died. That's who was the 3rd kill. through deductive reasoning. Watch Lucky Duck just tear him apart here. Like the sheer amount of damage that Lucky Duck's flawless gunning can do. And it was damn near flawless in this game. Like, look at that damage. Almost all the way across the map, past a couple buildings, like, flawless gunning. Kusanagi hurting, trying to run. Blue team was not even focusing on them. They're like, we can take the easy kill, or we can try and put the other person as much in the dirt as possible, because we know for sure we're going to kill the Kusanagi. So, Dirty Duck tears Kusanagi a trillion new holes, and now BFS is at such a major disadvantage because of the Azawa's hull health, perma-hull health, sitting at under a quarter here. That this would be damn near impossible to come back from with such a high level team as your enemy. We do see Kusanagi do some excellent flying. He ends up, I think, Dirty Duck ends up going for him. Lucky Duck ends up trying to coast. But Kusanagi comes over here, pulls around this building to break gun arcs with the Lucky Duck. Excellent play, but Lucky Duck's crew synergy is insane. And Azawa was not doing a whole lot. And right now it's out of arcs. If it hugged this wall of buildings, it's to the back down there. Yeah, these buildings, it would have been out of the gun arcs of Lucky Duck, so it could have tried to help. But Lucky Duck, man, or rather Dirty Duck. Let's give a shout out to this crew for being so badass. The brawling efficiency on the Dirty Duck is insane. The Doormaster's an insane engineer. I've seen him save that ship so many a time by the skin of their teeth. Capital Fellow is Smollett's brother. Flew the Terrorist General badass. So yeah, mad shout out to that crew. The Brawl Kings. I'd say that's the best Brawl Pyramidian crew in the game. They showed their potential in all their COGs matches, for that matter, and highlighted in the Hemlock Reykjavik tournament, where they managed to like 2v1 a couple times when Squash ended up disconnecting. He ended up holding down like a boss and brawling with and managing to get a kill against a 2v1, which is, you know, fruitful for a 2v1. So yeah, that summarizes that game in a nutshell. This has been Wind and Thunder Gaming. If you like, comment, subscribe, so on and so forth. Have a nice day. Be coming back with this whenever there's a COGs week. Not sure what's happening next weekend. I'm going to take a brief look at the calendar. I think next Saturday is Spire Tournament. I might be wrong. Have to check my dates. But yeah, I don't know if I'll be doing a post-analysis for the Spire Tournament. I might, but I'll definitely be casting the We Hate Field Trips tournament. Yeah. So yeah.